land of I am more than I have been. I am more than I will be. I am all that I am. In the land of I am more than I have been. I am more than I will be. I am all that I am. And the songs of all my great grandmothers and the dreams of all my great grandfathers and the way to rise beyond the pain, all live in me. In the land of I am more than I have been. I am more than I will be. I am all that I am. In the land of I am more than I have been. I am more than I will be. I am all that I am. And the smiles of all the unborn children and the dreams of a better day to come and the dance of heaven with the earth all live in me. In the land I am more than I have been. I am more than I will be. I am all that I am. In the land of I am more than I have been. I am more than I will be. I am all that I am. In the land of I am more than I have been. I am more than I will be. I am more than I am. In the land of I am more than I have been. I am more than I will be. I am all that I am.
Good morning. My name is Kay Yules, and I am the sorry. I'm the trustee on duty today. On behalf of Reverend Donna Maurer and the Board of Trustees and the practitioners, I am certainly privileged to welcome you here to the Sonoran Desert Center for Spiritual Living. Whoever you are and wherever you are on your path, your spiritual path, you are truly welcome here. Here you will be validated, supported, and encouraged to be all that you can be, all that you were meant to be. Our vision statement is love in action, every day, in every way. We express this love by learning and living the principles of the science of mind. You may find them on the back of your program, and please read them with me. I believe there is an infinite intelligence operating throughout the universe. I believe this intelligent power is only good. I believe this intelligence expresses as me. I believe through my conscious use of this power, I create my life as happy, healthy, and complete. And so it is. Do we have any first-timers here today? If you would like to stand up and introduce yourself.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Brandon Gray. This is my wife, Mary Durkin. Mary has attended here at times past. This is her first time. We're a nice bunch of people and a nice atmosphere.
Nice to have you here, Raymond and Mary. Please feel free to join us after the service for refreshments to get to know us, and we can get to know you. I would like to thank all the people who made this Sunday celebration possible. And first of all, that's you sitting in those chairs. If you weren't here, it just wouldn't be the same, and it would be empty. Right? And thank you to the ones who make sure everything is set up and in order for this gathering, the kitchen and the food and all the volunteers and our music and our sound board. Thank you, everybody. Please direct your attention to the announcements that are in your bulletin. And if you're watching online, please visit cslaz.org for our announcements and event calendar.
The God in me beholds the God in you. It is all for our greatest and highest good. The God in me beholds the God in you. And you and I are one. Namaste. The God in me beholds the God in you. It is all for our greatest and highest good. The God in me beholds the God in you. And you and I are one. Namaste. Namaste.
Good morning. I'm John Lopez, and I am your practitioner, your service practitioner today. And the practitioners are the healing arm of our center. And so if there's anything going on with you that you would like treatment for, we are here to do treatment for you all this week. Just fill out a prayer card on our table over there and put it in our box. And our team will do treatment for you all this week. Or you can come to me after service and we will do a 1-minute miracle for you. So join with me now in our opening invocation. I invite you to close your eyes. Be here in this moment, relax, and know that today's service is already perfect, whole, and complete, because God is all there is, filling all space and filling this sanctuary as it fills and expresses and outpictures as each and every one of us sitting in these seats here this morning. And I know that there are blessings in the wisdom and words of Reverend Donna, in the beautiful spiritual music of Heather, in our support staff, our video support, the people who do the wonderful kitchen and food support. Everything contributes to make this service perfect, whole, and complete right here and right now. And together we anchor this by saying, and so it is. So my reading this morning is from week 4. Whoops, I gotta light our service candle. There we go. Now we're good to go. My reading today is from week 4 of the July CSO Global Themes, which is Practice Makes Imperfect. By recognizing the inherent and potential in our perceived imperfections, we open ourselves up to an expansive experience of life. We celebrate the beauty of living the imperfect life without the limitations of not good enough or not yet. In the midst of life's challenges, we delve into the power of self-compassion, self-acceptance, and cultivate a sense of wholeness. The pursuit of perfection is a misunderstanding that limits our experience and potential. Instead, we celebrate imperfections as opportunities for growth and self-discovery. We discover the power of reframing our perspective, shifting from a critical lens to one of gratitude and appreciation for the unique journey we are on. By embracing imperfection and living authentically, we align ourselves with the truth of who we are and experience a profound sense of joy and fulfillment. We recognize that life's imperfections are not obstacles, but stepping stones towards our personal and spiritual growth. By offering kindness and understanding, we create a nurturing environment for personal growth and self-expression. Through self-acceptance, we embrace our unique journey and find peace and fulfillment in embracing our imperfections. By letting go of the need for external validation and societal expectations, we align ourselves with our true essence. We're invited to embrace imperfection as a catalyst for transformation, to let go of unrealistic expectations, and to live a life of self-compassion and joy. By doing so, we create a vibrant and expansive experience of life that reflects our inherent beauty and potential. Quote, "You can try and wait until everything is perfect in your life before you seek that moment of enlightenment, but you will be waiting an eternity." Dennis Merritt Jones, The Art of Being. Thank you. Namaste. So I take our candle and I'll be sitting over by our prayer table and holding the high watch.
I can read your mind and I know your story. I see what you're going through. Yeah, it's an uphill climb and I'm feeling sorry, but I know it will come to you. Yeah, don't surrender, 'cause you can win in this thing called love. When you want it the most, there's no easy way out. When you're ready to go, there your heart's acting out. Don't give up on your When you question me for a simple answer, I don't know what to say, no, but it's plain to see, if we stick together, you're gonna find a way, yeah. So don't surrender, 'cause you can win in this thing called love. When you want it the most, there's no easy way out. When you're ready to go, then your heart's left in doubt. Don't give up on your faith. Love comes to those who believe it, and that's the way it is. That's the way it is. When life is empty, with no tomorrow, loneliness starts to come. Babe, don't worry, forget your sorrow. Love's gonna conquer it all. Oh, when you want it the most, there's no easy way out. When you're ready to go, then your heart's letting down. Don't give up on your faith. Love comes to those who believe it. Then your heart. Don't give up on your faith. Love comes to those who believe it, and that's the way it is. That's the way it is. That's the way it is, yeah. Don't give up on your faith. Love comes to those who believe it, and that's the way it is.
Good morning. I have a couple of things I want to share before we get into the talk. John and I had a wonderful few days in the mountains in Pine Top, and we had lunch one day with Jaya and Charlie Potter, and they spent the whole summer up there. And then Charlie took John fishing, and I mean, he really cared for him. He made sure that he didn't step on rocks and all kinds of stuff to take care of him. And so they just had a beautiful time together, and we are so lucky to have those two people as part of our spiritual community. So I just wanted to shout out for that. And another thing I want to tell you about, how many of you know about Prosperity Pig Flow? How many don't? Okay, because it's the idea of Prosperity Pig is to keep track of your unexpected or unplanned income and feed the pig 10% of that unexpected income. And there are little things like maybe you find a blouse on sale, feed the pig 10% of what it would have cost you. Somebody takes you to lunch, feed the pig 10% of what that lunch would have cost you. So there's all kinds of ways to open up our channel of abundance by using flow as our unexpected income. Last week, Ruth and Dee were here from Cuenca, and Dee found out that she had a retirement plan that she did not know about. It was there for about 40 years collecting money. And the income was $300,000. And we have the fattest pig on the planet because she fed Flo $30,000. And that's the way that works. So take a cue from Dee. The whole idea is to get our consciousness of abundance by seeing that flow of abundance as it flows through our lives. So anyway, I just thought that was just really fun. So we're going to conclude our theme for July, and I've called it the gifts of imperfection. And I've heard from several of you that this material has really touched your heart. So I thought we'd conclude with the topic, loving ourselves into wholeness. And I appreciate John's words so much because they're dovetailing right into what I want to talk about. Because in our first week, as he said, we learned to embrace the fact that we're not perfect. You know, we talk about at the absolute level, we are whole, perfect, and complete. And that's at the God consciousness. And that's true. But the moment that we fall into time, we fall into duality, and perfection is no longer existent. So we are in the realm of duality. We're in the realm of pairs of opposites. And perfection is not an option, nor should it be. Because if we were perfect, we would not be able to make those choices that make us unique and wonderful human beings. You know, the movie character Mary Poppins defined herself as practically perfect in every way. And most of us grew up believing that we must be practically perfect in every way because we fear the shame or humiliation caused by wrong or foolish behavior. If you were here at the first week, I told you about peeing my pants in first grade and having to stand against the register to dry my dress with 20 giggling first graders looking at me. And from that point on, for a very long time, I couldn't speak in front of people. I couldn't even stand in front of people. So none of us want to be humiliated, so we're going to do our best to be as practically perfect as we can. But the problem is, as John pointed out, that we miss the experience that make us human. Yeah, I remember a story a long time ago about, I don't even remember who the minister was or the church was, but a church member was proudly telling her minister how organized she was, how everything fit, and she was absolutely practically perfect in every way. And he said, you don't leave any room for God. You know, so and that's true. By over-controlling our lives, we don't allow room for those unexpected God giggles. When we are only letting in that which is familiar, then learning and growing is stunted. Being open to something new involves risk. It involves being imperfect. It involves being humiliated, maybe. But it is what we need to grow into who and what we truly are. So when you and I concentrate on a specific event, we tend to form conclusions around it. We tend to judge it. And when specific events or goals are not reached, we see ourselves as failures. But if we look at life as a process, and we talked about this this second week, I think, rather than a series of singular events, a bigger picture emerges. We see both our failures and successes as part of the tapestry of our life. And what we had deemed as a tragedy may become the catalyst for something wonderful. Back-to-back hurricanes brought me here. Back then, the temperature was 98 degrees. The humidity was 99% degrees. There was no electricity. And I would never have told you that it was the best thing that ever happened to me. And it was. It was. So we have to look at things as a process that has no beginning or end. And rather it's the journey that we're taking, like Don Juan telling Carlos Castaneda, there's no destination, there's only the path. Just be sure your path has a heart.
As we embrace the journey that is our life, we can permanently put down the club of self-criticism and embrace ourselves as perfectly imperfect. In the second week of our series, we added resiliency to our gifts of imperfection. Researchers have wondered why it is that some people seem to bounce back from traumas and others crack and crumble. Dr. Al Siebert writes, "The highly resistant people are flexible, adapt to new circumstances quickly, and thrive in constant change. Most important, they expect to bounce back and feel confident that they will. They have a knack for creating good luck out of circumstances that many others see as bad luck." And he also notes that resilient people are adapting at seeing things from another person's point of view. When we empathize with others, we feel less alone and less entrenched in pain. And as a result, we recover faster. When we are able to see through the eyes of another, we are transformed by the renewing of our mind. When we are able to open our heart to another, the obstacle that seems so huge can become the stepping stone that opens a new world for us. Barbara Fredrickson, the author of Positivity, suggests that resilient people are characterized by an ability to experience both negative and positive emotions, even in difficult or painful situations. They mourn losses and endure frustrations, but they also find redeeming potential or value in most challenges. Dr. Fredrickson says that when not so resilient people face difficulties, all of their emotions turn negative. If things are good, they feel good, but if things are bad, they feel horrid. Resilient people, on the other hand, tend to find some silver lining in even the worst of circumstances. Well, they certainly see and acknowledge the bad. Fredrickson says that at least they'll say something like, "At least I didn't have this other problem." And she knows that this is different than succumbing to Pollyanna-ish denial. The resilient person isn't papering over the negative emotions, but letting them sit side by side with other feelings. So I can say, I am sad, but I'm really grateful for this. And I love the idea of letting our feelings sit side by side, because initially we probably won't see an obstacle in front of us as a stepping stone. But with time, there's a clearer perspective. And if during this period, devastation and gratitude sit side by side, we will eventually see the gifts in what was once felt like a tragic situation. So claiming our imperfection and allowing ourselves to be resilient are ways that we can be open to the beauty and mystery that is life itself. And today I want to add another tool that might help us through those times when the going gets tough. When we were in Pine Top, I began to reread Byron Katie's classic book, Loving What Is. And these words hit me. Contemporary neuroscience identifies a particular part of the brain, sometimes called the interpreter, as a source of familiar internal narrative that gives us our sense of self. Antonio Damasio says perhaps the most important revelation is this, that the left cerebral hemisphere of humans is prone to fabricating verbal narratives that do not necessarily accord with truth. It's a nerve, doesn't it? And Michael Gazzaniga writes, the left brain weaves its story in order to convince itself and you that it is in full control. So the interpreter is really trying to keep our personal story together. And to do that, we have to learn to lie to ourselves. So I want to think about that for a moment. Let's say that a man leaves his family for another woman. His daughter is 5 years old. From the child's perspective, the fact is, my daddy left. But the interpreter says, I must be the reason that he left. He doesn't love me. I'm not lovable. And without intervention, this will be the story that becomes her life. And she'll probably have experiences of betrayal all along the way. Bad marriages, bad relationships, because that's the story that is being told through her interpreter. So if you and I are going to receive those gifts of imperfection, we need to discover and call out this interpreter. I was at an AA meeting, and the speaker was saying he was saying that his bad thoughts were like crows on the back of his bed. And he said, I'd open my eyes and they'd say, oh, good, you're up. You know, you're no good. You did that stupid thing yesterday. How could you possibly have done that? And he says, all this stuff, you know. That's the interpreter. That's the interpreter who's going to make sure that whatever we believe about ourselves is ingrained within us. So, we need to sort between what is fact and what is the interpretation of that fact. And while being very gentle with ourselves, we need to begin to tell a new story. My father left. That's a fact. I am a precious child that had nothing to do with his leaving. That's the new story. I am powerful. I am beautiful. I am wonderful. What my dad did, I had nothing to do with it. When we combine embracing imperfection, the resiliency to let both tragedy and thanksgiving stand together, and learn to separate fact from interpretation, we have a clear line to our true essence. We can relax and embrace all that we are, all of our experiences, as they lead us to the discovery of our own God self. And isn't that what our journey is about? Isn't it? To see God in ourselves, in others, in the best and worst of experiences. And aren't we all seeking to love ourselves into wholeness? You know, when I was in Vero Beach, Florida, I became friends with a fourth-generation rabbi. His name was J.R. Davis. And we loved playing together. We would put on workshops, and he had a cable show, and occasionally he'd put me on too, and we'd talk about the differences in our philosophies. But his father and his grandfather were both teachers. And he told me about the time that his grandfather was asked to put on a play about finding God. And he could have as many students as he wanted, as many props as he needed. And he thought for a few days and asked, may I have a bench and 3 students? The night of the play, the curtain rises, and the first student stands and begins to talk. I have always wanted to go to college, but my parents don't have much money, so it didn't seem in the cards for me. But I just found out that I won a scholarship that will fulfill my dream. I will be the first in my family to graduate from college. I have been so happy and so excited, and in that intense joy, I found God. The student sat down and the next one stood. I too have always wanted to go to college. And yesterday I found out that I did not receive the scholarship that would make that happen. My hopes were dashed. I was devastated. I cried from the very depth of my being. And in that dark night of the soul, I found God. He sat down and the third student stood up. I was with my friend when he found out he had received a scholarship. I laughed with him. I hugged him. I felt his joy as my own. And I was with my friend who did not receive the scholarship. I cried with him, and my heart broke with his. And in that compassion for both of my friends, I found God. When we can see life as a journey rather than a series of singular experiences, we can begin to see God everywhere. We can feel the depth of our ordinary life. And we find that we automatically love ourselves as well as everyone we touch into wholeness. Thank you. Namaste.
Thank you. That was overwhelmingly beautiful. This is a song that I chose to remind each and every one of us that we are beautiful and powerful. And despite all these perfect imperfections we've been talking about all month long, we are perfect, whole, and complete beings. So if you'd like to stand, you're welcome to. I am beautiful. I am powerful. I let go of my past and celebrate who I've become. I am beautiful. I am powerful. And I celebrate who I am. I am beautiful. I am powerful. I let go of my past and celebrate who I've become. I am beautiful. I am powerful. And I celebrate who I am. One more time. I am beautiful. I am powerful. I let go of my past and celebrate who I've become. I am beautiful. I am powerful. And I celebrate who I am. Oh, yeah.
Beautiful. Thank you. Okay. Time for our offering. Chance to put that law of divine circulation in process. So why don't you join me in our offering affirmation? My gift goes forth to heal, prosper, and bless all that it touches. It is evidence of my conviction that God is the source and substance of my supply. I share generously of my good, knowing that it returns to me multiplied abundantly, and so it is.
I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so
And indeed, we are so blessed by all of your generosity and everything that happens in this beautiful little piece of paradise. You know, it's just kind of amazing. Not all of you know the history of how we began this and how we were able to buy our property. And I think at this point we owe right at $100,000, if not less than $100,000 on what was I don't remember how much we started out with, $375, I think. So, you know, we've done this in a matter of years because our hearts are so big, and we have created something that I hope never goes away, because it is such a beautiful, like like Heather said, you just drive up and park and you feel different. You know, so we are so much so grateful for all that you have done to make that possible, and I thank you so very much. So let's close this portion out in prayer, and then have some refreshments, and have a beautiful week. I know that there is one mind, one divine intelligence. We call it God, but it's known by many names. And that within this God consciousness is love, truth, beauty, joy, harmony, peace, abundance. And that is our true essence. That is our true nature. And as we allow ourselves to clear those areas that tell us that being imperfect is wrong, that tells us that we can't be resilient, that interprets things falsely for us. As we move away from that, we find the beauty, the joy, and the wonder of God at work in our lives in every single instance. And so that's not just true for us, but it's true for all people. So I do speak my word for anyone experiencing a challenge. I speak my word. I speak my word for the Olympics, and know that this is a beautiful time to show that we can move beyond boundaries and be in love with each other simply because we love sports. I know that life is good, and as I step into it this day, I experience my God self in a whole new way. I claim that for myself, I claim that for each one of you, and I know that all is well, as we say together, and so it is. And thank you. May we stand and sing stand.
there be peace. I am a stand for peace. Let there be love. I am a stand for love. Let there be joy. I am a stand for joy.